People are aware that governments around the world are involved in human rights abuse, but they are much less aware that businesses, companies also have problems with human rights abuse. Bloody Human Rights Project is designed to raise awareness about these sometimes very, very complicated issues. As well as being a professor of corporate law, I also worked for some 20 years with Amnesty on business and human rights issues. There came a moment about 2 years ago where I was really frustrated with just the same recurring issues again and again and again, and trying to explain to people the importance of these issues was also part of that frustration, because it's just very complicated. Given that I have a background in playwriting, I've written a radio play for the BBC, and so I thought that I would write this series of plays and I would take it to the people and see what they thought about these issues. We're working with Amnesty International on the core of the research.
The area of business and human rights, corporate accountability, corporate power, they're very complex moral and legal issues, and drama can in some way unravel that complexity.
We're working with Menagerie theatre company, who are helping me take the research and move it from the academic side through the writing out into real theatre on stage.
After a bit of back and forth, we came up with this idea of using the Augusto Boal technique of theatre of the oppressed, forum theatre.
We're also working with Ali Campbell from our drama department, who specialises in forum theatre.
Meeting a law professor who knows that he wants to use performance as a language is quite a natural conversation for me to have.
Through Alan's writing, we have created 3 provocative scenes. They're all fictional, but they're based in real life.
The plays try to capture the essence of these real case studies. What I've done is sort of fictionalise the context, so the conversations are fictionalised, but the central event that occurs is real in each of the plays.
And it's looking at responsibility. Who is responsible?
She did attack me. She did hurt me. She would have hurt you.
From the scenes, we get strong reactions from the audience, from the spectators, and then we start to involve them in the action of the pieces.
Do you speak English? Yeah. Will you tell her to sign the consent form?
What's he saying? It's not going to happen!
The actors stay in character, so you can't tell the bad guy to just be good. You have to convince this character that their behaviour needs to change in order for there to be a different outcome.
And you can punish somebody there on the ground, and you can still preserve your...
This press release would damn us as human rights abusers. That's not our intention. Our intention is to supply water. So what would you do if you're weighing up that? You're doing more good if you stay in the job.
We hope to have this integration and this change.
In this case, we, the audience, can become the makers of theatre. Don't just have a nice idea in your chair. Come out and perform your idea.
I want you guys, in your groups of 6, to create an image of whatever this corporate chain means to you.
And at the end of it all, the audience produces some rules that will fix the situation as they see it.
Global laws of human rights and independent publicised surveys.
So in terms of an actual concrete outcome, we'll have something.
International rules on corporate subsidiarities and tax, and at the national level a new law on political donations.
Public trials with impartial judges.
We're going to put these to the British government, we'll put these to multinationals as potential solutions to these problems.
And in the UN's view...
If it's legal, we will do it. If it's not, then we won't. Simple.
I spotted a scene, the woman at the well, is because her situation is a pivotal one in the context of globalization. And where I come in and why I'm uncomfortable, I could do an online petition and say, click here because I think the situation is bad. Or I can do something that's further, that's live, that's engaged. I can risk participating in trying to rehearse real solutions to that woman's situation.
I have been quite surprised and shocked at what goes on behind the scenes.
Fundamentally, it seems that responsibility, liability and blame is shifted.
What I've learned is, specifically things about the sort of legislation that is, oh, they can get away with that. That's not even illegal. Wow.
There are loopholes.
Objection sustained. I will move to a finding. Thank you.
We've gotten a very interesting audience, a mixture of policymakers, people who work for multinationals, people who are activists, members of the general public that are just interested in what this might all be about.
I think it was a great evening. It really impressed me that everyone was so involved.
One of the key things that came out this evening was around legality and morality.
It wasn't simple baddies and goodies. It made you see the vulnerable side of the corporations.
We're made aware of this social injustice and social issues that are not just in the UK, they're around the world.
It really got the audience fired up, and I think there was a lot of different views.
It was absolutely fascinating, and there were so many different people asking questions and wanting to engage with the issues.
And I think it's that passion which really drives these events.
We have the right to kick you out and take care of our people and make sure they have water. So for us, the case is very clear. We must take care of our people.
The idea of roles and people's roles has come up again and again and again.
One very eloquent person said that most of us here, if not all of us here, would make those same decisions if we were in those roles. It's all about the suit that you're wearing.
Somehow that neutralises their humanity in these situations.
It doesn't mean they're unsolvable. It just means that there are really knotty problems.
It's going to take longer for it to happen because there's more people on the other side, like BEW or a multinational company.
Yeah.
They'll still sort of just get a signature in the end.
Yeah, but nobody will die, so that
nobody will die, so that's...
It wasn't just a play, it was this interactive workshop, and I think that definitely raises awareness.
It reawakened me to these fundamental issues which are always there, but you tend to just not sort of tune in so much.
I think it's a very empowering experience for everybody.
Felt very much in terms of planning this that we'd come to 7 performances, we'd have some research data, I would have this legislation, and that would be the end. But actually the way it's worked out has been, it feels like this is just the beginning.
I really thought I'd seen the last of Alan Dignam. Unfortunately, like that, it really is the start of something. We have brought something to the surface, and we now need to deal with the consequences of that, both in research but also in action through theatre.